Welcome to More Than a Type, the podcast for emotionally aware women who are ready to stop overthinking and start taking action. I'm Carol.
And I'm Amira. We're certified DISC practitioners and mindset coaches. After 5 years of coaching women just like you, we know this.
Understanding yourself is powerful, but what you do with that insight is where real change happens.
In each episode, we'll unpack the patterns, personalities, and pressures that keep you stuck and give you tools to move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose. You're more than a type.
Let's turn clarity into confidence
and confidence into action. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to More Than a Type. I'm Amira.
And I'm Carol. Today's episode is for the free-spirited I woman who always has 10 tabs open in the brain, a calendar bursting at the seams, and still think they can squeeze in just one more thing.
If you're great at starting, full of ideas, but struggle to finish, this episode's for you.
I remember attending a board meeting, and there were 3 ideas presented by the board for activities that we were going to go ahead with. And I said yes to all of them because I thought they were all interesting and fun. For the first few days, full steam ahead. I was pumped up. I was excited about going ahead with the projects. But as we got into later in the week, I felt my energy drain. And then everyone was still chasing me. What's happening with this? All the board members asking, what's happening with that? And it got to a point where I was hesitant to even pick up the calls because I didn't want to let them down. And they were getting frustrated as well. Not good all around.
Yeah, that sounds like it's such a hard spot to be in and a tough situation for your colleagues also to be going through.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I've felt that too. That brand new feeling when you're super excited. Like, I'm going to give you an example. So, when you join the gym, you're so excited. You're going to go into every single class. You're going to be there every day at 7 a.m. You're doing step. And the next day you're doing cycle. And the next day you're doing the weights. And I just remember for the first 2 weeks of joining the gym, I was there. I was at and they were like, oh, this new member, she's fabulous. She goes to everything. But then, sooner or later, that energy really goes down and you get really tired. So it sounds exciting at the start of something new, but over time, you then realize that there are other things that you are more interested in. And the things that you originally said you were going to go to just are not that interesting anymore. So it's not like you're not showing up. It's not like you're flaking on purpose. Sometimes you just overcommit without choosing what's best for you.
And that's the real cost. Because when your energy is scattered, people don't see your brilliance. They see inconsistency.
I thought it was interesting to bring in a real life character. I want you to think of Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a true high I personality. His brilliance and his creativity were unmatched. But even he admitted in his biography that his energy and his life was chaotic. And he was hard to deal with even for himself. So I read in his biography the time in his life when he was recording. Do you remember Night at the Museum?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the versions, not sure whether it was 2 or 3, he would show up on set and he wouldn't know his lines. Life was just so hectic and chaotic for him that he just knew he had to be places, but he didn't have his lines ready. He didn't know what he was showing up to record. And it just felt like he was there, but not really there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it happens in our lives as well. For example, have you ever said yes to 3 weekend events and then cancel 2 because you're just too tired? I have. Or maybe start a new hobby, but the half-finished pile of supplies is in the corner of your craft room. Um, I've got a box secret.
I've got five boxes, Carol.
Oh, have you ever volunteered for projects at work and then scramble last minute to deliver? Oh my gosh, this has
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely say that I would fall into that last category with the amount of things that I seem to want to do. I'm always pressed for time, and I find myself scrambling to the last minute, sometimes to the detriment of staying up really late to get work done, just feeling totally exhausted, getting only like 4 hours sleep. It's hard. The pattern is the same. You're so excited to say yes. You're so excited in the moment. The idea of what you're going to do seems like, yes, you're going to do it. This time, this will be the one that I finish through. And then you're flooded with overwhelm. If you're the kind, sometimes you regret saying yes straight away. Sometimes the regret comes halfway through. Or when you realize that you're actually not going to be able to commit, you feel guilty. You haven't said what you were going to do, so you're letting yourself down. And you're also letting down others who depended on you when you said yes in the first place.
So why does this keep happening then? Why do the free-spirited I struggle so much with focus? The I-style brain craves stimulation. Novelty feels like fuel. We like everything new. That's why saying yes feels irresistible.
Yeah.
I believe it's called the shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, that's right. And I must say that I really do feel like novelty is something that's really important to me. When I do something for too long, it just loses its sparkle, its brilliance, and I feel like I need to move on. Part of, if you remember, Tony Robbins has needs. There's a certain need, and part of I loves the uncertainty, and uncertainty or novelty can be classed as uncertainty. Also, adventure is another category of uncertainty. So novelty, adventure, these are all things that I love, and I know they really are. My eye energy is really attracted to new things, strange things, different things. I do find them irresistible. But here's the downside. When you chase every spark, and I mean everything that shines, you just don't know where to look. Are you looking left? Are you looking right? Your energy just spreads out across a large spectrum. You're burning bright because everything's so exciting, but you're also burning out. And people around you start to see you as unreliable. Oh, don't get her to do it. She doesn't finish things.
That hurts because at your core, you don't want to disappoint. But scattered energy means that you often do, not from the lack of care, but from lack of structure.
So, how do you shift from scattered to strategic without losing the joy and creativity that makes you you?
Let's look at a scenario. Imagine you're in a team meeting and 3 new opportunities come up. The I-style impulse is to say yes to all 3 because they all sound exciting, right?
Unresourceful version, you take them all on. Yep, I'll take care of that. Don't you worry. We're just going to take on all 3. I'll do some amazing work. It'll be easy. You know that internal dialogue. That's what it's like for me, at least. So you start really enthusiastically. You plan everything. This is what I'm going to do. And you start nice and strong. And then by week 2, you're already behind on all 3 of them. Or you've got one going, but you haven't even started the other 2. And sooner or later, you're sending apologetic messages, blaming time, or really you're beating yourself up for not finishing what you said you would finish.
That's where we tend to blame ourselves. We tend to be harsh with ourselves as well. Now, the resourceful version is pausing and asking, which of these excites me the most and which will create the biggest impact? Then pick one, fully commit to it, and let the others go. And the result will be you follow through, and people will trust you and they will trust your yes.
Yeah. That's really good. It's really good when you have the choice to pick and fully commit. I remember a time when, and I think all moms will attest to this. So I remember a time when my children wanted to do swimming, wanted to do tennis, and wanted to do taekwondo, all in the same like school year, right? So I just remember those were the days. My goodness gracious. My children are almost 18 and 22 now, but when they were younger, we would, school is from 9 to 3. You'd get home, quickly change, then you'd go to one activity, and then you would move them from that activity, run to the other activity. And then while they're in that activity, you go to the grocery store, pick up whatever chicken you're making for the night. Then you go pick up the kids again. Then you come back and cook and then get them all showered and then homework and then bed. And this was Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I just remember those days were super hectic. And I felt like I didn't want to deprive my children of all these activities that they wanted to do because their friends were going as well. So I remember, like with full awareness, very consciously saying, this is hard on me, but I'm going to do this and we're going to see how long I can do this for, because I know that my children are benefiting from this. And we did it for a little bit. And, it was difficult. And my kids are older now. They don't remember those times. I just remember, I now say that I am so glad that they are able to do swimming, are able to do their, whichever belts. One went to black belt, one went to brown belt. So they had that experience, and I gave them that experience of childhood, and they made friends, and they learned discipline and team sports and self accountability in their sport. So it's something that you want and you get, yes, at the expense of tiredness, but I'm also glad that I did it.
When the children are young, especially, we tend to stretch ourselves quite a bit just to give them opportunities, give them experiences. Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember something similar as well. I remember rushing from place to place, like you said, rushing from one activity to another. And my kids would literally have their dinner in the car. I would pack their dinners and they would be eating in the car. And it got to a point where I thought, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I putting my children through this? And we decided to scale back a little bit and to enjoy more family time together.
Yeah. I remember those times as times when I had no time to do anything. I never caught up with friends. I never did any of the self-care activity. Like I never did reading. I never did any of my self-care activities that I know, yoga, and I never went for my walks. I just remember having my children's priorities as the number one thing that was so important. And I would just be exhausted, 9 p.m. they're in bed and I would just be exhausted.
So it's so important to manage our energy, right? So here are some richer shifts to help you move from scattered to strategic without losing your spark. The first one is time boxing with rewards. Don't just set a timer, make it fun. For example, give yourself 25 minutes to work on one task. I think the Pomodoro system, right?
Oh, I don't know the system. Tell me about this.
It's there's actually an app available now as well. What it does is you set it for 25 minutes. So 25 minutes of focused work, and then it beeps or the alarm goes off. And then you've got 5 minutes to get up, stretch, walk, whatever, a 5-minute break. And it's wonderful because it refreshes your mind. So when you start the next 25 minutes, you're starting with a fresh perspective again. You're starting with renewed energy. Wonderful. You should try it. It's called Pomodoro. You can get the app. It's free.
Pomodoro.
So
Okay, that's good. It kind of
yes.
reminds me, we did the same at uni. It was 45 minutes of class, and then we'd have 15 minutes break and back to another 45-minute class. So, okay. Yeah, I get you.
It's good to refresh. It's good to give yourself that break as well. I strive on rewards and novelty. So linking focus with that mini prize, whether it's a walk, whether it's a snack, whether it's chit-chatting with a friend, whatever, makes it feel like play, and it's not restrictive.
Yeah.
So the second tool is defining done with sensory anchors. Before you start on a task, close your eyes and imagine, what does the finished job look like? What does it feel like? Do you see clear check marks on your list? Hear yourself saying, is this done? And feel the relief in your body. So just focus on the body. By defining done through your senses, you train your mind to stay locked onto completion rather than the distraction.
Yeah, that's great.
The third one is accountability with fun and visibility. So pair up with somebody who would both cheer you on and check in. Amira, kind of like us, don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit like what we're doing.
Yeah. So share your one big focus for the day and then start them and then send them a picture. Another way that I use accountability is with exercise. Oh my gosh, you won't believe it, but I do not enjoy exercise. And I've tried it many times. I've tried exercising on my own. I just cannot. I mean, I would do it for a couple of days and then I fall flat on my face. So now what I've done is I've got a buddy who also wants to exercise. So we go for a walk and we take her 3 dogs with us. And we go at night, so it's cooler, and the weather doesn't bother us so much. And I'm really pleased to say we've been quite consistent. We've done this for 4 weeks now, 3 times a week, which is a record for me.
Yeah, that's great. High personalities thrive when achievements are seen. So now that you know that, in 4 weeks you've done that, that is the reward that helps you to keep going, really. So another tip I have to help you go from scattered or disorganized to strategic is by filtering. So before you say yes, run whatever you're about to do through these 3 quick filters. Do I actually have time to crochet this blanket by the end of the week? And I'm being very specific because it's actually what I'm going through at the moment. Do I actually have the time to do whatever it is that you're about to say yes to? Number 2, do you have the energy? Like, do you seriously have the energy to do whatever this is, whatever someone's asking or proposing? And number 3, does this project task align with your bigger goals? If 2 out of the 3 are no, then your answer is no. This gives your yes more power the next time, and really it prevents you from overcommitting.
I like this. It's linking where we are right now with our future self.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just brilliant.
Yeah.
So the 5th one is make focus social. If you're dreading a solo task, invite connection into it. So one of the things that I'm doing now is I go to the National Library with one of my friends and we remote work together. I'm doing my work and she's doing hers, but we're sitting together in this little room and it's so much fun because I've got a buddy over there and we sneak in snacks and drinks. Shh, don't tell them. And we have conversations. I know it's in the library, we're quiet about it, but we have lunch break together where we're loud and laughing and having so much fun. Both of us have noticed that every time we work together, we finished every single item item on our to-do list
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that is finding a strategy that gets you to get started on your task. And then you can separate and do what you need to do, and then come back and enjoy the reward of the strategy, which in this case is the connection and the friendship. So instead of being scattered everywhere, going, I need to do this, I need to, but I haven't, I can't start, whatever, your yes is more strategic. And then people love the work that you do, and now they can rely on you too.
So imagine this. Instead of being known as scattered, you're known as strategic. People still love your energy, but now they trust your follow through.
So here's your challenge this week. Pick one project that you are working on that needs to be finished. Define what done looks like and box it in a time until it's finished.
Notice how it feels. Do you breathe easier? Do you feel lighter when you actually finish instead of juggle?
Because when your energy is channeled, you actually get the work done. And then you're not just someone who does things haphazardly. You're the one that people count on to get the important things done.
So let's recap today's key insights. The I style loves novelty, but scattered energy drains trust. The trap is saying yes to everything in the moment. And the shift is choosing intentionally and finishing what you start.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. Where do you see yourself getting scattered? Is it at work, at home, or in your social life? Share it with us. We'd love to feature your story in a future episode.
And next time, we'll talk about how women handle the hard stuff, those uncomfortable conversations and moments you'd rather run from, and how to stay present without losing yourself.
Thanks for tuning in to More Than a Type. Remember to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with someone who needs this insight today.
Until then, keep leading with clarity
and living with purpose.